All right, welcome back to On Iowa Live. We are going to answer some of your audience questions. First up is Tim's. Compare Mark Gronowski's debut with Cade McNamara's debut at Iowa.
It's challenging because Cade actually threw a touchdown pass on his first, play, and then it kind of went downhill from there.
Okay.
But I would say, yes, I'm concerned because because I have eyes, but I also think, he was 6 of 7 to finish. He looked like he was settling in a little bit. He looked like whether it was nerves or he was pressing or he was like aiming the ball instead of throwing the ball. I'm sure all of that's coming off on film. And the other part is he wouldn't have thrown for 11,000 yards and run for 2,000 yards if he wasn't a good quarterback. So I think it was just a rough day at the office. He admitted it.
Yep.
But now he has no more time for mulligans because this week it really matters.
Absolutely. He kind of reminded me a little bit of Spencer Petras taking accountability in the press conference afterward and everything. I just think timing. I think his timing was a little bit off. Eugene asked, Iowa had trouble stopping the RPO. Will they need to spy the quarterback?
No, I think you just be disciplined in your approach. You just make sure your gap's sound. They had a little bit of an issue, but by and large, it wasn't too bad. I mean, they allowed 43 yards all game on the ground. So, other teams have scholarship guys too. So I think spying is more for passing, when maybe you have somebody there. But they went to a lot of dime looks, 6 defensive backs in this game. But again, what we were talking about with the tight ends that Iowa State has in Bramer and Burkle especially, you got to be really careful because if you go to 6 defensive backs, then they'll just run it right over you with those guys, or even matching up a safety with Ben Bramer, who's Travis Kelce out there. I mean, that's going to be a really tough chore. Now, I don't know if Taylor Swift will be there for him, but I think this is there's some challenges Iowa's defense has right now.
Last question. Can Iowa still be a 10-2 team if they rely solely on the running game?
No, but I think it's too early to throw them away.
Right.
I mean, I think, again, concerns, yes. Lot of season left. We've seen some teams really grow and get better. But this week will tell us a lot. I mean, they are playing a legitimate – I don't know what the ranking will be tomorrow, but I think they should be a top 15 team. And this is the first time that Iowa and Iowa State have played where Iowa State will be ranked and Iowa won't be. So that's really kind of fascinating here. So, I think conversely for Iowa State, this is also a prove-it game. You could say, well, Kansas State was a tough test, but they almost got beat by North Dakota. And then you look at South Dakota is still an FCS program, so they're going to want to prove it to Iowa, a Big Ten school, in-state rival. You win that game, they should have all the confidence in the world to say, we can win the Big 12.
Well, let's go ahead and pick. With our picks this week, I do want to say from last week, Jack, Scott, and myself were tied for Colin has 3. So that's where we stand after week 1. Big game this week, Iowa State. Across the board, everyone except for Jack picked Iowa State. Okay. Scott, why did you pick Iowa State?
They just look like a more complete team at this point.
Yeah.
I do think it's a field goal game, one way or the other. And one field goal kicker kicked a 63-yarder, the other one kicked a 55-yarder. So I guess they both have great field goal kickers. But I just think Iowa State looks more complete, and it's hard to go against Rocco Becht. That's not to say that Iowa can't win. It just says right now I just feel more comfortable with the Cyclones.
Coach?
I think it's going to be – I'm going to go 38-24 Iowa State.
Okay.
And
wow.
And it's not – again, it's just from what I saw last week. If Iowa State plays offense like they did last week, Iowa's youth on defense will struggle to hang with them, I believe. And I think both are going to go on and win a lot of games. I'm ready for one that's not I need to take my blood pressure medicine. And so I'm praying for a little more of an easier one.
I don't know if you're going to get that this week. I also picked Iowa State. I just think they're tough, or their competition so far is just tougher. I think they look better right now. Going to the next one, it's UNI, Wyoming. We all picked Wyoming, Scott. Any particular reason why you picked Wyoming?
It's tough for Northern Iowa who's rebuilding to go and play an FBS program, and Wyoming, although it's kind of rebuilding as well, it's it's just a different level of competition.
I agree. Do you want to chime in on that one at all?
So I have a former player I coach that's playing now at Wyoming.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go Wyoming for that reason alone.
You just join us. I love it. Then we have Oklahoma, Michigan. It looks like we're kind of split on this one. Colin and I went Michigan, and you and Scott went Oklahoma. Excuse me, you and Jack went Oklahoma.
I went Oklahoma. I mean, John Mateer, their quarterback, is terrific. He was great last year at Washington State. He had a terrific debut. Michigan had a nice game against New Mexico, and it's on the road. It's at Oklahoma. So I think Bryce Underwood, amazing true freshman, 5-star. If he goes there and wins, then I think they're cooking with gas in Michigan. But I think Oklahoma's probably the better team right now.
Yeah.
I'm going Michigan, and that's just because Oklahoma left the Big 12.
Fair. Our last one we'll do, Kansas, Missouri. Our newsroom will be split on this just because we have Mizzou grads, Kansas grads. We all went with Mizzou. Why'd you go with Mizzou, Scott?
The Mighty Tigers are at home.
Yep.
This is the most vicious rivalry in this part of the country. And, I mean, they haven't played for 14 years, but it is – the worst one I've ever been around, because I worked for 6 years in that area, right on the border, and you were to call people up today, and they're like, we hate them just as much as we did 14 years ago. It's different. This is a great rivalry between Iowa State, and there's a lot of ribbing, and sometimes people get a little feisty, but it's not like this. This is more like, hey, let's go hang out at your tailgate, go Cyclones, go Hawkeyes. This one is, you don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm going Kansas.
Okay. Any particular? Just Big 12?
Big 12.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Scott Docterman, for joining us once again this week. Coach Knock is going to stick around. We're going to talk Prairie football after this break.